that flame. Truth in the streets, not the soothing mind.
And this just don't live in a tower of stone. It lives in the hearts of the folks back home. Hey, we got the people's wisdom, people's rhythm, people's system. Yeah, the truth hits hard when the whole crowd listens.
Granddad taught me on the porch, swing slow. Some real justice is the things you know. A handshake deal, a promise kept tight. Wrong feels wrong and right feels right. Ain't no statute gonna tell me what's fair. I see the truth standing right over there. Common law roots like the oak tree strong. Been holding up folks for 100 years long.
Ooh, we don't need a crown or a robe or a throne. We judge by the heart, not the words carved in stone.
We got the people's wisdom. Yeah, we carry that flame. Truth in the streets,
Not the suits with a name. Justice don't live in a tower of stone. It lies in the hearts of the folks back home. Hey, we got the people's wisdom, people's rhythm, people's system. Yeah, the truth hits hard when the whole crowd listens. Mama said, girl, let your voice ring clear. Truth don't whisper when the people draw near. We settle things fair with the look in the eye. Not a stack of laws stacked up to the sky.
got that hip-hop snap with a country town sway. Baseline jumping like a horse in the hay. Common sense, justice in the way that we play. If it harms somebody, then it ain't our way. We don't need roads to know what's right.
We don't need courts to see the light.
We got the people's wisdom.
We got the people's wisdom.
Shine bright, bright.
Shining bright.
Shine bright, bright. Shout it broad and bright.
We got the people's wisdom. Yeah, we carry that flame. Truth in the streets, not the suits with a name. Justice don't live in a tower of stone. It lives in the hearts of the folks back home. Hey, we got the people's wisdom, people's rhythm, people's system. Yeah, the truth hits hard when the whole crowd listens.
There we go. Welcome to the War Room. Glad to have everybody here with us tonight or today, wherever you at. I want to wish everyone listening to my voice tonight or today, whenever you listen, a happy Fedsurrection Day. It's January 6th, or like they say, J6. And you didn't hear a whole lot of people talking about it today, did you? Did you know that the statute of limitations just expired on that? That's probably why, right? That's probably why we got all this Maduro shit, all the timing, right? Timing is everything.
I don't see Gumball. Is it out?
Well,
Sorry,
yeah.
I couldn't help to laugh at that statute of limitations. That's funny.
We'll see what happens though, right?
I don't see it there.
Are we live on Rumble? We should be live on Rumble. Let me get the banners up real quick. I don't see it. Yeah, they're
Yeah, it came through.
there.
It did? Okay.
Okay.
I go over and check.
Awesome song, Melinda. There we go. So we want to thank Melinda Glendia for the music.
Yes, thank you, Glenda.
Probably the best of the best right now on the market out there. So she's in our tribe, so greatly appreciated. Creativity, because you can't just, it doesn't just, you think it's easy until you do it, right? It takes creativity and it takes from within, right? So yeah, Jack Love, we love that song. Shout out to Hunter. Hey Hunter, how you doing?
Hey, Hunter.
Hey, Hunter. Oh, I want to, Hunter. Okay, now I got 4 fans. I just want to say hi to my 4 fans.
Okay.
Oh damn, 4 fans.
4 fans.
Yep. Hey, Hunter.
Shout
See,
out
he's
to
the 4th one.
Prayers for Glendia to get better, Hunter and Jacqueline, and anyone else that's not feeling well. First, we're saying our prayers for you and sending healing energies towards you. We love you.
So we had our first drawing this morning.
Yes.
We did the drawing. It was, well, somebody wanted Afghan. We
Yeah.
got the names.
Yes.
We got the names of everyone that won something this morning that participated. We want to thank everyone that donated.
In case you weren't on the chat by any chance, there was Nature Girl, right? Miss Sheepdog, which I donated back in for somebody else, and that person was Mr. Ed, Dwayne DeWitt, Barbara White. Barbara White won twice actually, and Mickey. So, and then somebody else donated 15 tickets.
Yeah, they bought 15 tickets and then
Yes.
gave one to each person in the chat that speaks up in the morning chats for the drawing.
And we'll be doing another one for next month as well.
We'll do it again next month. So these are hand quilted, handmade Afghan blankets.
Yes, what by Boots on the Ground sister.
You know, like your grandma used to make.
Yes, they're wonderful.
So glad to have everybody here. I would like to encourage people to go check out the Rumble morning chats. We had those uploaded from today. A lot of information that we covered there, showing, you know, first term Trump versus third term Trump, right? Or second term Trump. Some people call it second term, but the auto pen is the dash,
Right.
45 through 47, right?
And a lot of people are noticing that.
Yeah.
Right. So that's awesome.
It's encouraging to see people stand on something, right? If you stood for no wars, right? No regime changes, America first, take care of America, right? A lot of people are seeing it and a lot of people are sharing it. So that's encouraging to see. We got a lot of AI videos out. We got AI Trump right here talking about Venezuela, right? That boy Trump after he hit up Venezuela and mugged old boy Maduro. Here's a clip right here.
Stole that shit. That's what I do, nigga. Fuck, nigga, I stole that shit. And I stole it. Like, bro, but niggas don't understand. I talk facts. Vlad, I talk facts.
Oh, you're right.
I
Don't even deny it. That's cool.
nigga, I talk facts. What deny? What, nigga? Give me that, nigga. I don't know what to do with that.
Okay.
You know when a nigga got a girl?
That's funny, right? So I was scrolling around and I was looking, and then he had the Trump Seawalker.
Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gang. Keep it gang. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gang. Keep it gang. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gang. Keep it gang. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gang. Keep it gang. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gangsta. Keep it gangsta, dog. Keep it gang.
This AI stuff is getting out of hand, man.
Yeah,
Right.
it's getting crazy.
So if Trump was a gangster and a president, right? But we've seen, I played a lot of the old Trump. It's almost like 47 isn't the same as 45. It's like 45 was the white hat, 47 black, the black and white pillar, right? Remember he came in as the Undertaker with the black hat, and Elon put the black hat on, and now we have Lady G putting the black hat on. Make Iran great again. Have y'all seen that? Right, we showed that.
Well, Iran's got to be made great again before we get to be made great again.
Well,
Wait.
Venezuela. Hold on, you're out of order. It's
Oh,
Venezuela, Cuba, then Iran.
But Israel's all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
good.
yeah,
Okay, I got it. Got it.
Yeah, be careful because Dan Bongino is going to go after people that say stuff like that. According to reports, Dan Bongino is now going to go after people that he determines as black pillars. I guess the black pillars are the ones that were trafficking children.
Black pillars or what do you say, MAGA that's cheering instead of pushing back, right?
I don't know. Let's figure out. Let's see.
That's what, according to Schroyer, right?
Right. So Dan Bongino's first message back from the FBI: a warning to black pillars who want accountability. If you want accountability, you're going to be targeted. Right. And this is the same Dan Bongino that told you, do not. I repeat, do not take your eyes off those Epstein files. Remember when he was a podcaster
Yes.
and he said that?
He said he's going scorch earth now.
Now he's going to go scorched earth if you
Yeah.
keep focusing on those damn Epstein files that he told you do not take your eyes off of.
That's right.
But anyways, like I said, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. We're not scared of no. Not scared of none of that shit. Here we go. Let's play. Let's see what Eric's got to say about it.
Oh, everybody, Dan Bongino's back after a year. Hey, Dan, how are you? Did anybody just have like a little bit of just like kind of teeny tiny bit of hope that Dan was going to be like, guys, I just went in there, I saw the belly of the beast, and I'm going to come out swinging? Nope. Dan decides that he wants to go after the people that are questioning the very things that Dan was advocating for people like us to question.
That Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on this. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there.
God, that kind of sounds black pilly, huh? But instead, Dan's calling everybody black pillars, and they must be we must go after the black pillars because they're the ones creating confusion and division, and midterms are coming up. So I'm coming out of the FBI where I didn't do shit. So instead of one of your first messages out the gate, like, hey, we understand where a lot of you are coming from, like we haven't actually arrested anybody at all. The message is we're going to go after the people that are.
Right. So the people see no accountability. Look at the numbers. Right. Big goose eggs all the way across, all the way down. The Russian inclusion hoax, 0 number of arrests. J6, here we are, 50 years later, 0 arrests.
50 years later.
50 years later.
Dude. We still don't know who killed Kenny. I mean, come on.
Oh, that was Mr. Hanky, the Christmas poo.
Mar-a-Lago raid, 0 arrests. Biden not open, 0 arrests. 2020 selections, 0 arrests. And I'm going to bring up on this 2020 election, 0 arrests. You can go back to the Act of 1871. I'd like for everyone to go check that out. Epstein pedophile arrest, 0. Scamdemic, 0. It's been 7 years, since COVID, 6-7 years now. You see how much time has flown?
Yes, it's crazy.
It's like we're doing everything but what the people said they wanted, or they campaigned on this, right? Or was that another timeline? Didn't they campaign on all taking care of all this?
I think it was all 3 times.
Right.
Right. Some people voted for Trump 10 times. Benghazi, 0. Those findings, 0. And Benghazi, 9/11. It's the same, another line, 9/11. Ukraine impeachment hoax, 0. Right? Do you think people have the right to be a little upset that we're kicking cans and targeting American citizens instead of the real criminals? Right? So the people are waking up, they're getting fed up, and so they're going to try to counter that. It's just really strange turn of events here with Dan Bongino. We probably need to pray for him, right? is going through some shit. I don't know.
Shit.
So instead of one of your first messages out the gate, like, hey, we understand where a lot of you are coming from, like we haven't actually arrested anybody at all, the message is we're going to go after the.
Yeah, just to add to this real quick, this is an ex-law enforcement officer asking where's the arrest, right?
That's right.
I mean,
Is he
shit.
in between? Is this guy in between careers there? So he got fired from one place and now he's gonna go to
Yeah, he probably.
The message is we're going to go after the people that are questioning us. Is this your new mission, Dan? Is this your new operation to go after the people that are questioning why we've been lied to and gaslit over and over and over?
Says, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that he's either a witting or unwitting asset, intelligence asset, meaning his plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source. These assets, that's why this blackmail story makes so much sense.
Did he take a black pill? Is he causing confusion and drama?
Evidence in a case this big. Was it lost? You get what I mean? I don't know. I'm just telling you, I've never seen evidence. You know what I did see evidence lost? Seriously, sadly, during 9/11, our office was in 7 World Trade Center, the Secret Service office. 7 World Trade came down. I promise we lost a lot of evidence. That's the only time I've ever seen evidence lost.
That almost sounds like some bitching and whining. Dan, are you with me still? Do you think that this is going to go any better than what's happening to Ben Shapiro's show for you? Mm-hmm. Especially now that we know exactly who you are.
So bitching and whining. Where's that at? If we blocked you, this is what. It's because we care so little about your bullshit that we didn't deem it not worthy of even seeing. If you're bitching and whining about it, that means you can't exist without seeing and commenting on ours. You'll need to get over that. We do it because there's nothing black pillars and anti-Trumpers want more than to create division and drama. We're about results. And you're about result. Wouldn't the results show? Don't talk about it, be about it, right? That's what people are saying. You guys are talking about you're doing this, that, and the other, but you ain't. Nobody's seeing shit. We see evidence of Americans being targeted, just like J6. Since today's J6, let's talk about that. All right? Still no justice. I mean, what the fuck?
Well, we haven't even got to the bottom of that, right?
Right. Well, I don't think we ever will.
Well, we already know, right? But.
So now if you want accountability, you're an anti-Trumper, you got Trump derangement syndrome, etc. You know the whole thing. You're a conspiracy theorist type. It's a CIA bullshit tactics, right? Yeah. So the only people dividing the group is the people not bringing results, what the people wanted. So don't project that onto us. That's because we're doing our jobs. Right. Look in the mirror and see what it is that you're not doing, that the people voted for you dumbasses to do. So now you're proving all the conspiracy theorists correct. You're proving all the black pillars to be correct. You're proving all the people that don't like this whole Trump or whatever all correct. I mean, shit, prove them wrong.
That's exactly.
Prove everybody wrong, right? Show us results. No results, then I mean it is what it is. That comes with the territory in media and journalism, right? You got to be able to just take the criticism, like JFK said, right? They don't want to be criticized, and everything they do in the dark is kept in the dark. Nothing comes to light ever. All right, secret societies. Right. So then we got Lady G wearing a black hat, right? Did y'all seen that? Let me see if I can find that real quick.
Yeah, it said make Iran great again. Make Iran again. Everybody but our country, right?
Everybody but the judge presiding over Netanyahu's corruption case has been found dead in a suspicious accident. Israel is an apartheid state led by a wanted war criminal. Isn't that crazy how Virginia Gumphrey's dead, Epstein's dead, everybody just ends up dead?
Yeah.
So the judge presiding over Netanyahu's corruption case has been found dead. All right, so we've seen Lady G. I'm gonna try to find that. I guess I didn't load it up because I didn't want to talk about it again today, but I'm sure you can go look it up. But Andy Frasili on Lindsey Graham, right?
I think he masturbates to young American kids getting killed.
Yeah, putting on soldier uniforms, bro.
Yeah.
He fuck like
I would ship him right to the fucking front line.
he has, yeah,
If I was Trump, dude, I'd say, bro, you're such a fucking warmonger.
dude,
Here you go. Go up and run the fucking front line.
He's
Since you're
over-
so good at it,
bro.
go up. If you said Lindsey Graham, go to the front line,
Shit.
he shit his fucking pants.
Twice,
Yeah.
bro. Come
He's
on,
a
man.
bitch, bro.
Dude, he over here fucking clapping like a seal. He's so fucking.
Dude, when you think of disgusting, greasy politicians, he's the disgusting, greasy politician that I think of. I think he masturbates to young American kids getting killed.
Yeah, putting on soldier uniforms, bro.
Yeah.
He fuck like
I would.
Yeah. So this is the same Lindsey Graham, right? That just met with Netanyahu, got his marching orders. He also wants for people on food stamps to have to submit their biometrics in order to receive any help at all from the federal government. So biometrics so if you are struggling to make ends meet and you're in the hard times right now and you're trying to maintain your privacy, that's fixing to be violated through these biometrics in order to receive some food from the government. They're going to want you to do biometrics while these criminals keep doing everything they want unchecked. That's what people are getting pissed off about,
Right.
and rightfully so.
Some justice, right?
You're picking on poor people. You're picking on people not poor, but you're picking on people that they have no
They're at their bottom.
right. They're at the bottom. They're not right. This dude's making millions, if not billions, on going to war, right? This warmongering POS, right? Nosy Graham put his ass on the front lines.
Yeah, because they're all invested in those in that.
Yeah, because they invested in. Yeah.
Make a lot of money.
So put Lady G on the front lines, man. So yeah, biometrics for if you are on SNAP benefits, if you're getting SNAP benefits, Lindsey Graham wants you to be on biometrics. He wants you to submit biometrics in order to receive some help. So people are bypassing the algorithm and exposing the truths, right? Because you can't just type it out. Because we played that this morning, right? Talking about the algorithms and how it chooses who gets seen and who doesn't. You have freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. So people are getting creative. Here's one person. All right, so what does this remind? It's reminding me of, remember Charlie Chaplin? How he told stories without saying a word?
Oh yeah.
Maybe this is how we beat the algorithms.
True. True.
Y'all remember this? He's in the tiger cage.
Like, get your message across without saying a word.
Right,
That takes talent.
kind of like that, right? This is for entertainment purposes only. So that's why I showed that, because I think we're going to have to do the sign language or something, maybe get creative with because the algorithms is what's keeping people from their message being seen. Right? I want to play this again. This is for everyone out there that keeps posting and posting and posting, and nobody's seeing your post. Like I know Nadine, me and Nadine are kicking ass on X, but guess what? It's freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. You don't get no traction.
That's right.
But some dumb shit can come out, and that shit will get 200 million views overnight, and every politician will push it. Right? So if these politicians are for us, how come they're not sharing our content? How come Ted Cruz ain't sharing our content?
You're too busy monitoring us
Hey
and
Ted,
dropping your social credit score to the freaking negative digits.
That's right.
yeah. Hey Ted, why don't you share my shit? All right. You shared everyone else's, right? It went viral. They could make things go viral when JD Vance and Ted Cruz and all them get together.
It goes with their agenda, yes.
Right. If it goes with the agenda.
If you're part of the resistance, no.
If you're saying shit like Netanyahu and United States of APAC, you're probably not going to get pushed.
You know what? I also think that when people aren't caught up to where we are, I think they hold back that information, but then afterwards they'll let it run. Like when everybody catches up, they'll let it run.
There's a lot of people, saying a lot of awesome stuff, like great information, but it doesn't get pushed out there.
Yeah, no more wars.
The clone is not programmed to go off script.
That's right. That's right.
There you go. Cheating. See, cheating could see it.
See, we would short circuit them.
Yes.
Johnny Five is alive. Short Circuit, that movie. You remember that?
So someone has a question, babe.
Yeah.
Johnny Blas wants to know what the next big psyop is. Major cities going down, massive death toll, fake alien invasion still on the plate.
I'm thinking aliens probing, coming in to probe some people.
I don't think there's going to be mass.
Aliens gone wild.
There's a lot of stuff going to happen on your TV, right?
Right, correct.
Fake alien invasion might be on TV. I don't even know if that's still in play.
You know,
could be.
We could take a poll and see, and then we can all place our bets like they do on these football games on what the next psyop's going to be.
Yeah.
We could see if Las Vegas wants to get in on this. Right.
Like on the Illuminati card, one of the cards is that they love conspiracy theories because that's where they get their ideas from.
Yeah, remember? Hey, cheating. Remember when we used to always in the chats? I'd always throw in the DNA thing. I'm like, yeah, they want to take you to the airport. They want to check they want your biometrics, your passport, your digital ID, and your DNA. Well, that came true.
Right? Back in the day, huh? See, I told you
and I'm like, no.
Well,
so
we're 8 years ahead of the program, but that was about 3 years ahead of the program. So yeah.
Yeah.
So the aliens coming, we don't know if they're gonna be male or female. We're just gonna have to think if they're gonna be they them.
Yeah, they're they them.
They them.
They're what do they call them?
Andromedans.
Yeah, where they're neither, right? They're just neither sex.
All right. So if you have any clue what the next live's gonna be, put it in the chat. We're gonna play this real quick. I want to encourage people to keep posting your truth so that you have record of it in the public domain, your Facebook, your X accounts, even if nobody's seeing it. Right? When everything collapses, you can go back. Everybody's gonna be like, "Well, how come nobody said that?" And you can be like, "Well, if you look at my feed here, you have 4 years of conspiracy theories is what they were labeled as, and misinformation and disinformation. Well, I ran out of conspiracy theories because they all came true. But there's my record. There's what I've been putting out for several years now. So, but keep posting, keep doing you. People are watching. Right? I think the numbers are incorrect. Maybe you got more numbers than what you actually. It's really not about the numbers. It's just about getting to. It's just about getting to, 1 or 2 people that you know, man. That's all.
Just like
you can't save the world.
He found some bombshell information, right? And it's not going nowhere. And he's like, but it does. And you don't even know if the numbers are
Even real.
yeah, or even real. But some people are watching and other people are saying the same thing. So it's getting out there.
Yeah, I think a lot of the numbers are just bullshit.
Exactly.
There's a song Willie Nelson wrote that I encourage people to go listen to, and I think Willie Nelson and his son, and the song's called Bullshit.
Yes.
I should go check it out.
I'm going to predict that AI
All right,
Atlas lands. Oh, sorry. I'm going to predict that AI Atlas lands on the Mar-a-Lago front lawn. No, just kidding. That thing's never going to land. Distraction.
So I'm really thinking about what. All right, here we go. Let me play this real quick. This is from
Who's
Eric.
going out to the 500 and under follower accounts and the 1,000 and under follower accounts who've been spitting gold, and you came out here like naively thinking that it's just a marketplace of ideas and it provides us an equal playground where, the algorithm will recognize it from spitting fire and then it'll link it to other stuff and it'll help me out. No, the algorithms are not going to do that for you. And you quickly come to this realization that you're spitting gold, but your gold is sitting with you in a solitary cell that no one is allowed to interact with. And you end up quitting and you stop posting because it's like, why am I doing this? The algorithm doesn't give a fuck that I'm here. It doesn't realize that I've just connected the Rothschild petrochemical industry infiltrating our health services with Donald Trump. And so you get like demotivated, but don't put it in that time capsule. Just post it under people that have said the same thing to be like, yeah, I know. I was here months ago, dude. No one's going to like it. No one likes that type of energy, but it gives you a little serotonin release that you just put your stamp on it. So I do that regularly. I suggest everyone does that. But it just brings it to a wider conclusion, though, that the people who are raising to the top of this, we've all been seeing it in Canada with the shills that have no talent at all. Mark Slapinski, the rest of these guys, they have no talent at all. Yet they're literally doing the things that tickle the algorithm the most. And so, credit to them for that. Maybe it's just haterade, but it's not designed to be a free market that will promote the best ideas. They've got control over this. The people who are getting tons of algorithmic success are usually selected. There's sometimes that big deals that they've led in the club boost the signal, and then you'll get popular interaction if people have been boosted and they're not already planted in there and they made it somehow organically. But most of the people are inserted now. That's why as soon as Charlie Kirk died, Braylon Hollyhand was being run out to be your new guy. This will fill the gaps. Open up the algorithms wide for him. Why have we heard about this guy? Because they let us hear about this guy. Why don't we hear about other people? Why don't we hear about the 300 follower account that should be at, 1 million followers by now? Because it's not in their script. They have no time for people rising up on their own. If everything's controlled, and Elon has always been a half matrix demon like we know, he can only live in the neocon MAGA 1.0 Ziodome. And even before that, it took Trump getting shot, Alex Jones getting ruined for him to even come far enough along through common sense to support those guys. So he's always been a manifestation of our handlers. And just seeing this Nick Shirley come out and just give some common sense truth that everyone else was giving. O'Keefe gave this out years before him, but now the doors are open. Now the algorithm doors are open. They want, and they wrote about this. It's a certain group of people wrote about how when they need heroes, we'll provide them, and they can easily do it, and they need to do it. They need to have more Ziodome heroes rather than convince the heroes that they had that the Ziodome is good and worth staying in. Because to anyone that has integrity and hasn't been blackmailed, they're all running for the exits. They're all running for the exits. So they need replacements for those. It's much easier to just bring up the next guy and, offer him the world, but he's indebted to you somehow. There's something Nick Shirley will never be officially speaking for himself. I know everything he'll say. And we all know this. Maybe I'm wrong about Nick Shirley, but the next person that's like Nick Shirley. And we don't live in a land where you're going to get proof. So I see Hanlon's morons are everywhere. Hanlon's razor is where you never ascribe something to malevolence that can be explained through incompetence. That's their whole game. That's how they keep winning that's how Hillary gets caught with a private server that she's like, oh, I did it for convenience. What's more convenient than starting your job as Secretary of State than just taking a phone that's handed to you when you get out of the car? Why? I'm going to convert my basement to hold a server down there. I'm going to hire this next guy that'll maintain that just separate, just, for my yoga emails. So no one bought it, but they hide behind Hanlon's razor for all these morons that are like, oh, until I get hard evidence of what you're saying, you're fucking nuts, dude. And it's funny. It's just ironic that those guys think that they're smart, but they just have no idea the landscape that they live in. Anyways, just wanted to get that out there, guys, that just be prepared. They're glowing out there these days.
Yeah, they're glowing. All right, you can see them. So you can see who's being pushed and who isn't. Like he said, the people with just 500 or 1,000, subscribers, like myself. And not just myself, but I'm seeing a lot more out. Most of the best channels I follow have only like a couple thousand subscribers. They're not getting pushed, but they're dropping.
Right. That's right.
So I would encourage people to not look for the channels, and I'm not saying don't subscribe to like channels. I've seen channels with 750,000 subscribers, but only 20,000 viewers.
Yes, I am right.
Like they're even like, you may have like 1 million subscribers, but if you flopped, if you changed any kind of thing in the algorithm, if like for instance, let's say that channel covered maybe survival tactics for the last few years, and Trump and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden nothing's going the way it was, and then if you flip, boom, you may have 750,000 subscribers, but now you're only getting 20,000 views.
Yes.
So they're throttling that as well. It's almost like they're so they have the power to boost and put people who they want.
Yes, if it's going along with something they want out there, like you said, that they want pushed out there, then yes, they'll boost you.
Like if Nick Shirley covered like what's going on in the Mormon Church, of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints, and the pedophilia going in there, he wouldn't get boosted. But they sent him to cover the Somalians in Minnesota. That wasn't even his state. He's from Utah, but he's a traveling journalist that's been invited to the White House with Nick Sorter and all the other people, right?
Yes.
So a lot of people just say that they're just strong on. They're not really serving us as far as journalism is concerned. They're serving an agenda.
Right. They got invited to the White House during the Antifa thing, so they were pushing the Antifa, right, stuff out there.
I'm so glad. Aren't you guys glad we don't have to hear about Antifa as much and BLM and all that other?
Oh my gosh! I know.
Thing, man. And then the Biden, it's like, oh my gosh, I am so relieved. That and the holidays. I know that and the holidays that are over. I'm so glad. Like that was weird. That was like I took a 4-hour nap and then woke up. I mean, a 4-year nap and then woke up.
Exactly.
Right. So I want to play this next video, and he's going to be talking about fixing the 2020 election, in which we know was rigged anyway. And we always say since 1871, when the United States of America became a corporation, the United States is when everything split, right? With no constitutional authority to do so. So when people talk about, fixing things like that, then y'all getting that?
Yeah.
In your ear?
Crackling.
A little crackle. So this is the Act of 1871, February 21st, 1871. Congress passes an act to provide government for the District of Columbia, also known as the Act of 1871. I'd encourage people to go check that out. I'll share that link. Here is 47 and 45. Are y'all getting that cracking, scratching? Can y'all hear that?
Can y'all hear it? Or is it just on our
No, I don't hear it.
Okay, good. All right, so this is Bobby sauce. So the patterns, buckle up. We've been buckled up for years, bud. Somebody said, buckle up. And we've been buckled up for years.
Uh-huh.
Remember that buckle up Buttercup? He had to put on 10 seatbelt straps. Probably one strap for each year. Right.
I was going to say, did he add 2 more?
So we have new hopium drop this week that the 2020 will finally be revealed, and we're being reminded for the umpteenth time to buckle up and hold the line. The patterns are patterning, and I genuinely don't understand what people think is going to happen from this, right?
Right.
Unless we're fixing this, the Act of 1871 is just more of the same. But we've been getting told that the bad guys are finally going to see their day of reckoning for nearly a decade now, and I can't see one who has. So meanwhile, the swampers seem to be firmly in control more than ever, but being fed yet another carrot. So hold another line, buckle your buckle for the 50th time. And if the swamp is being drained, I must be an alligator because I'm not seeing it.
Getting the squirts at the idea that Maduro is going to be the genuine question to people who are getting the squirts at the idea that Maduro is going to be the key to unlocking the fraud of the 2020 election. What exactly do you think is going to happen? What do you want to happen? Because the Constitution says the president can only serve 2 terms. So it's not like he's just going to get another term added onto it. Then, of course, I'm seeing posts that are like, buckle up, like indictments are coming. What indictments? Who's going to get arrested? Comey didn't get arrested. Bill Clinton didn't get arrested. Hillary Clinton didn't get arrested. Hunter Biden didn't get arrested. Who has been arrested? Who? I've been watching people say, hold the line, something big is coming for the last 7 years. First, it was chance of Hillary, lock her up. Then it was, no, we're not going to do that. Then it was like, hold the line, Patriots. Everything's going to come, but he has to wait for the second term. And then after the election, it was like, to hold the line, guys. We're about to release the Kraken. Just wait till January. Then when Biden got in, it got squirrely. And it was like, no, he intentionally lost so that he could expose everybody. And then when he gets back in office, everything's going to happen. Then it was Epstein files. And if he only gets in again, and Cash and Bongino are going to go scorched earth. And now it's been a year and Bongino is already out. The Poopstein files got covered up, or whatever you want to believe. And now it's yet another piece of red meat. Just hold the line and wait, because something big is about to happen. And Maduro somehow has the key to this. And Trump's social media team is feeding this because they are not stupid. There are young people in comms that are watching what people are talking about on X and on Instagram and on TikTok and on Facebook and on YouTube. They're watching. They just know that this will satiate people in the interim. They'll just keep the thing going. But I truthfully just genuinely don't understand what people think that this specific outcome would actually lead to, or whom would actually get arrested for this. I genuinely hope that it's true. I really do. I love a good conspiracy theory, and I really hope that that's the case. But I just don't think it is. And it is genuinely comical at this point, where the mere mention that you don't understand what they think will come of this specific thing. You're anti-MAGA. What do you hate, Trump? What would you have preferred to Kamala? They're like, well, you don't have faith in President Trump. It's like, nah, I just see patterns, bro. And they've been telling us to hold the line and buckle up, Patriots, for the last 7 years. And of course, there's all these new monikers for the people that are paying attention to dismiss their criticism or their concern. And coincidentally, these are the exact same people that are afraid to criticize anything that the administration does for fear of being labeled with that exact same moniker, or potentially losing out on some income opportunities, some sponsorship opportunities, or some invites to places. I honestly believe that even after Trump's term is over, they'll be like, hold the line, Patriots. JD Vance is going to do it. And then it'll be like, in JD's second term, or whatever is the case. And it will just go on in perpetuity forever. And if you dare say, like, I don't really think this is going to happen, or when is this going to happen? They're like, you're not being patient. You're not holding the line. The world doesn't revolve around how fast you want something done, Patriots. And before you know it, they'll be like, Baron Trump is going to release the Kraken in 2046, Patriots. Just hold the line, Patriots. And that's not to say that I don't believe anything good has been done or will be done, but that's all they'll take from this video.
I hope y'all found that as funny as I did. Like,
Entertainment
purposes only.
and
Go check out.
educational material.
Check out
All credit goes to
Bobby Sauce. Go check out more content from Bobby on X if you like this. It's called at Taking Naps.
They keep getting away with that, you know, just stay right. It's going to happen. It's because nobody's taking responsibility for helping. Like, they're all waiting for everybody to come in and help, and nobody's coming to help. You're supposed to do the heavy lifting.
That's right. And that's where everyone messed up, is that we're supposed to get involved, right? It's supposed to be done by we, the people, right? So keep waiting for something somewhat, you know, at one point, maybe we do get some help, but right now we got to do what we got to do.
Exactly.
For us.
I'm not waiting around for some guy that I might never. I'm not waiting around for any guy. I'm gonna do it myself the best I can.
That's it. And
Bullshit.
this is all about learning and empowering ourselves, right?
Right.
Yeah. So this
Well,
is
personally, I think there's enough of us already awake. The others are NPCs, and we're going to go nowhere with them. But everybody you see on platforms and doing stuff, we're doing it. You know, all the others are just, I don't know, hybrids. But I wanted to say one thing in chat. Who thinks that the 2020 election, because this was the story of a couple minutes ago, who to disclose the 2020 election, who thinks that's ever going to come true? I don't think that'll ever be revealed. That's toast and gone. It's just like a continuous loop that never does anything. Just like, you know, I'm off track here, but walking out of the grocery store about 20 minutes ago, they had the Valentine's candy, you know, sitting there, and I'm going, oh man, I ain't doing this loop again. You know what I mean? So yeah, it just keeps going in a loop. So I don't think the 2020 election will ever be revealed, to be honest with you. What do you guys think?
Right. I'm just what I'm doing with the right here. That's what the Act of 1871 is bringing forth, right? That since this date, February 21st, 1871, we've been voting for corporate presidents. So it's been, you call it what you want since then, but that's why they call them selections, right? So they've always, like, we think we were picking these people, but we haven't been. And so if you think that the 2020 is rigged, then you need to go all the way back from 1871 forward.
Oh, okay, I get you. I get what you're saying.
So
Yeah, I
until you
wasn't
wake up
saying
to the
anything.
fact that the United States isn't a country, then you're going to keep doing the same shit, expecting a different result, like you said, in a loop.
right.
So we're trying to come out of that by educating the people
Right.
so that we can take back our republic, but you can't because you're participating in something outside of that that's uh, uh, de facto.
It's like
It's
like
de
that
facto.
needle. It's like that needle on the record that ended 200 years ago, and it's going skip, 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 skip. You know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. So we did the Bobby sauce. So 1871. Somebody here left a comment, right? It shows, you know, oh, that's the war room. Okay, that's us. That's me.
Genuine question to people who
Yeah,
are
look at
getting
that.
this.
I left a comment. So this is never go full retard, right? Lady G went full retard. So if you know the movie Tropic Thunder, about this is like a CIA war movie, the most expensive war movie ever filmed. That's what we're watching.
Yeah.
All right, and we're seeing a lot of people go full retard in this movie, and you never go full retard. All right, because he played a role. I don't know if anybody's watched Tropic
That was
Thunder.
a good movie. I don't usually go
Genius.
for men's kind of. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that was a really good movie because they really didn't think like everybody's all big and tough. Like, yeah, we're not gonna. And then they find out that yeah, you could have been killed at any point. You
Right, they thought it was a movie. They were told it was just filming a movie. They were going into the jungles to film movies, and they were going to have different events take place throughout the process, but it was all real, and they didn't realize it was real. So they had the courage of that really put fear in their enemy. They were like, wow, these people don't even fear death. They don't fear jail. They're telling everybody to go pound sand. Like that's brave, right? So that I think that's kind of what we're dealing with. Remember Trump said they're filming a movie. If I was to film a movie, I would pick you, General.
Yeah.
Central Casting, CAA. So basically, it's if you understand CAA, it's a man playing a man playing a man. I'm a dude playing a dude that's playing a dude. So he's three people in all actuality. Well, but because this is just when the mask come off, right? When you look in the mirror, the mask come off, and then deep down, he wasn't a black man in Vietnam War or in the jungle. He's an Australian white man with blue eyes.
Right. But he was playing the character.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what people need to realize with this psychological operations, that there's people playing people that's playing people, but they aren't really the people that you think they are based on what you're seeing with your two eyes.
Right.
They're just actors playing the part of that person. Like Jim Carrey wasn't really, his name wasn't Jim Carrey. John Wayne's name wasn't really John Wayne.
None
I mean,
use their real names. Even Jim Carrey told you that.
So,
He plays many different characters, so he even gets lost in his own character when he plays that role.
right.
They're all playing roles. That's why central casting.
and Osiris, his name is Osiris. He goes, I never break character until the DVD comes out. So it's the most expensive war movie ever, fake war movie ever filmed. And then at the end of it, the war part is even funny because you see how all these people in this movie, who they really were in real life outside of what you see on TV in the theaters, right? You got straight gay men playing straight men in movies, but then when they're done with the movie, they're like, nothing against gay people, I'm just saying, like, it's like listening to Chinese people sing Elvis but can't speak English. Anyways,
Bud like that one.
Would they say we're gonna rend this waste?
Yes.
You know, the R's and the W's get mixed up, so we're gonna yeah, we're gonna rend this waste.
Yeah, like Catherine said, there's like over 200,000 plus central casting actors involved in this movie. So yeah, it's the greatest show on earth for real.
yeah, I love this audience.
And it's waking people up though. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But we're not supposed to fall into the movie, right?
No.
We're supposed to be
See it for what it is.
yeah, see for what it is, and then get involved.
Get brave.
And
Get
someone
some
said,
courage.
You know, yeah, a lot of people, like Bobby Sauce was saying, a lot of people did, and including ourselves, believe that, you know, that it was going to happen what we thought was going to happen, right? But after some point, you got to realize what this really is, and that comes with knowledge, right?
And
Over time, we gained more knowledge by reading and getting different books like some Forbidden Civics, Fruit from a Poisonous Tree, learning the history. Then you start realizing really what this is about. So yeah, we changed for the better.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because last night I was thinking when you brought up, you know, this movie, I'm like, man, this is one crazy sitcom. I was just like, it just keeps going on and on and on. It's like,
bad
wow,
reality TV show.
Friends ain't got nothing over this.
Hell no. It's got dopamine hits and everything.
Yes.
Ups and downs, like
Villains
wars and freaking helicopters going in and blowing up cocaine factories and
Psyops and deep dive. Hey, psyops, deep dives, license plates, numbers on the doors. It's crazy.
Yes, exactly.
Oh yeah, what's gonna happen tomorrow? Let's see.
right. So I thank God that I'm not alone in this, and in my bell's still being lifted every day to more and more, because you can't do it quickly, because you pass excuse my language, you'll pass out. Right? They said if they put out the whole truth, 99% of the people will be in the hospital, right?
Hey, it's got to be consumed. You don't.
Not everybody can handle what you can handle, so they don't want to look at the shit you look at.
You don't eat a whole cow, right? You eat in portions, right? And
So they don't want to. They can't handle. Yeah, you got to take baby.
baby bites.
So they can't handle the things that you can handle, right? So just thank God that you can see it for what it is. And I'm glad that there's thousands, if not millions, of people whose bells is being lifted daily. I've seen people that even wouldn't admit that this was kind of like a scripted reality or a movie last year is now saying, okay, it's a movie, like this year.
Yes.
Like, yeah, you see what I'm saying? So there are people. Shout out to Black Mountain. I see you in the chat right there. Yeah, so
Yeah, and Zeno Theo was saying they're saying that the machines, right? Yeah, the voting machine, Smartmatic,
Smartmatic, Dominion,
CIA.
CIA.
Right? So, I mean, this has been going on
CloudStrike.
before that. What was that? Oh, right. I think it's just a way to people to think. You know, who actually picks president? The electors, right?
Right. So we need to let's get Lady G out of this suit. Let's get him back in his uniform, and let's get him out there in the front lines. All right. If you want our sons and daughters to go die for another country, you want to make, there's MIGA. Right? I thought MAGA stood for Make Israel Great Again, but now it's Iran. Jeez. So you got to put a little Iranian flag on the side of it too.
Oh, look. I'll send you this. Here's another one. Trump's holding one too. Show that.
Oh
Nathan
shit.
just sent it out.
I bet that hat looks like it's made in China.
That don't even look like him.
I bet this hat's made in China.
Oh yeah, probably.
You know, his autograph on it increased the value to $10,000.
Oh yeah.
But if I sign it,
He even
if
said
I
that.
sign it, I can't even give it away.
When he was giving the hats away and he signed them, he even said, "You can make a lot of money to sell this on eBay, right?"
Yeah, about 10 grand. Somebody will pay you for that hat with his signature on it.
Yep.
And that's not even him right there.
No, no.
Yeah,
There's
look at his
several of
smile.
him.
Yeah,
Right?
look at
He
his
said-
smile. Here, let me do a side by side.
He's
Cheating.
central casting. He even said
Thank
it
you.
himself.
That's China Trump. That's China Trump right there. Well, we got
Right.
2.0 and
remember this
3.0. Where's 1.0?
Let's do
Right.
this. Let's do this. Let's-
Did you ever play the 903 on there? That was just on the chat, right? Let me get that for you.
Hey, check it out. The one on the right, that looks like Bill Clinton. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, don't see that. What does it got to do with this? Separate news.
Of course, I don't have my glasses on, but the one on the right looks like Bill Clinton. Pale.
Is that a lady?
As far as Assad is concerned,
What
let's
about
talk
the human rights abuses?
Let's
and-
talk. Well, you don't think they're happening now? They're worse now than they ever were. People are getting their heads chopped off. They're being drowned. Right now, they're far worse than they were ever under Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi. And it all blew up around Hillary Clinton and around Barack Obama. It all blew up. Now, one thing about Assad, not a good guy. I understand that. We have to rebuild our country. Our country's falling to pieces. We have 19 trillion in debt. We have infrastructure that's a disaster. Our roadways, our airports, our schools, everything. We have to start thinking about ourselves. We're pouring trillions of dollars into the Middle East, and we have nothing for it. We have nothing.
The world would be better off with Saddam Hussein
100%.
and Gaddafi in power.
100%.
But they
Now,
were-
as far as Assad is concerned,
What
let's
about
talk
the human rights abuses?
Let's
and-
talk. Well, you don't think they're happening now?
All right. See that?
Well, he needs to come on and say we're off worse than Saddam, or when we are worse. I understand things got to happen this way, but yeah, we're worse off than we've ever been. I've been alive for 56 years. I can even see clearer now. But yeah,
And like I said, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Even Trump told you that. But until we start waking up to all this nonsense and coming together, right?
Come together.
Right, every time we say we
Right.
need to come together, something happens.
Right, they do war.
Distraction, another this, another that.
More division. Now Dan Bongino's going after anybody that black pills or whatever.
Heard of that black pill.
It's some new CIA term. Just like calling somebody a conspiracy theorist, meaning you don't want to hear it. You just
Right.
bring negative, like the bad news, instead of fucking unicorns and rainbows, because that's all people want to hear. They don't want to get off in the mud, right? They don't want to go down to them lower, get down into the darkness and looking around with the flashlight. They'd rather just.
You know what? I think we can imagine way worse than what they might bring to the average person.
Right. People just got to wake up and remember these people work for us, right? So they're supposed to be the servants to the people, right?
Serve
And
themselves.
They got flipped, and we're wanting them.
That's
to
what the
serve
black
us.
pillar is. The black pills, when you take the black pillar on the Freemasonic pillar, right? They
Oh, yeah.
self-serve.
Self-serving.
They're
Which is
self-serve.
Satanic.
Right.
Satanic is self-serving.
What's up, America? Hey, man, people do not like the truth. And just for clarification, because I've seen a lot of people and already blocked several, I'm a Marine Corps combat veteran. I don't need somebody to read the manuals of which I used when I was in service to understand what's going on. I can see it clearly. But I want to break down the Donald so people can grasp what they're watching, all right, and start compartmentalizing these different aspects. But here's the truth most people don't want to talk about. There isn't just one Trump. What you're seeing is a role, a character in the movie, and the role is being played by more than one actor. Sometimes you see the original man, the one born into the dynasty, tied into old money and power networks. Other times you're looking at a stand-in double, a lookalike used for rallies or public events. Then there are the mask players, actors and prosthetics, stepping into the role when the script calls for it. And yes, technology has gone further than most realize. Digital clones, bioengineered copies, even simulated appearances are all part of the show. Why so many? Because the character Trump is bigger than one man. He's a lightning rod, a symbol that keeps people divided, invested, and waiting for someone else to save them. One day he plays the hero, the next he's the villain. It's all narrative management. The real lesson is stop waiting for saviors in suits. The real power isn't in the doubles or the actors. The power is, and has always been, in the people who finally wake up and step into their own role in this story. So the next time you see Trump on a stage, ask yourself, which one am I really watching? And more importantly, why am I still watching them when I could be writing my own script? Hey, I love y'all. That's the truth. I don't forget.
That was the903 on TikTok. Give him a follow. He's got great information.
All right.
They're worse now than they ever were. People are getting their heads chopped off. They're being
All right. So we're seeing it. So we want to thank the creator for that, opening our eyes to be able to process this and see it, because not something, you know how hard it is to get people to slow down just for a minute, just to look at a few things as critically.
Everybody. So over the past few weeks, I've gotten a few messages from people. They haven't gone unnoticed. I see that you're sending me these messages that I need to focus more on the good things that President Trump says and does, and I've reflected on that quite a bit, and I actually agree, and that's why I'm doing this video right now. And so I came across this video of what President Trump said that I totally agree with from 2016.
We will stop racing to topple foreign, and you understand this, foreign regimes that we know nothing about, that we shouldn't be involved with. We want to strengthen old friendships and seek out new friendships. Rather than a rigid dogma, we're guided by the lessons of history and a desire to promote stability all over, and strength in our land. This destructive cycle of intervention and chaos must finally, folks, come to an end.
Oh, see? I can focus on good things, huh? Huh, girls? Huh? We can make America great again, huh? By focusing on here, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Got to come together. We're avoiding one important thing. A house divided cannot stand. You want to stand, and we got to unite the house. All right, you got to put aside your differences, and that's what's being done across the board. I'm seeing left and right are actually agreeing on some things. It's more corrupt than what you actually believe. But you still have the left wing and right wing propagandists towing the party lines. So you got to come out of those parts, realize what you're in. If you're running around having debates with people about what's really taking place, and you're watching propaganda, it doesn't look good. And it shows that you still need some work in recognizing propaganda when you see it, and that you still haven't read the Smith Modernization Act of 2012 that Obama signed, which allows this all to take place legally, right? But so we've been involved in a lot of regime changes. Has the U.S. been involved with since the creation of the CIA and the Mossad? So how many regime changes has the U.S. been involved in since the creation of the CIA and Mossad? All right.
I'm just wondering.
In a house with fraud and lies will fall eventually. Already is.
The best way to explain a regime change is if you have a conservative state, and then you get some Democrats that want communism in the conservative state, which the whole Democrat-Republican thing is a sham anyway.
So you see with the example that he's saying, you just implant in the cities where the real populations are what you want to do. Like for instance, Venezuela, and then it just spreads. Right. See the red states, they're gonna fall off. This is all an illusion too. But yeah, you can have a red state, but if the cities are all controlled by Democrats, then is it really a red state if most of the population is within control of the Democrat cities? Right. So same scenario here. I just want to pause that to show what he's trying to explain here.
A conservative state, which the whole Democrat-Republican state. And then you get some Democrats that want communism in the conservative state, which the whole Democrat-Republican thing is a sham anyway, that come and take over the conservative state in the center of the city and then start communism from the center out. That's pretty much what a regime change is around the world. Now they'll say that they're trying to liberate the people from the dictators, the local dictators, but maybe, just maybe, in some cases, that it's the dictators that are liberating their country from the Rothschild beast banking system they're trying to break away from.
Let's pause that for a minute and let's take a look at that. All right. CIA was created in 1947, Trump 47. Israel 48, boom, boom. Mossad 49. What are the odds? All right, the more you know. So these are very important dates for this incoming video. You can take a screenshot. All right, here we go.
System they're trying to break away from.
Ever wondered how many governments the United States has tried to overthrow since 1946? According to U.S. envoy Tom Barrack, the real number is around 93 attempts, coups, election interference, proxy wars, CIA operations, and full-scale invasions. And as he warned, in the end, all of them failed. Let's map that out. It begins with Italy, 1948, where the CIA bankrolls anti-communist parties. Syria, 1949, a CIA-backed coup. Iran, 1953. Operation Ajax topples Prime Minister Mossadegh after he nationalizes oil. The Shah returns, future revolution guaranteed. Guatemala, 1954. Arbenz is overthrown when his land reforms threaten U.S. corporations, sparking a 36-year civil war. Attempts spread: Albania, Egypt, Indonesia, Laos, Ecuador, Iraq, Honduras, and Bolivia. Cuba, 1961, the Bay of Pigs, an invasion that collapses in 3 days and cements Castro's rule. Brazil, 1964, a U.S.-backed military coup removes Galar, ushering in 21 years of dictatorship. And in Indonesia, 1965, U.S. support helps Suharto rise amid mass killings. In Angola, the CIA arms UNITA. In Cambodia and Laos, coups and covert wars reshape the region. Afghanistan, 1979 to 89. Billions to the Mujahideen push out the Soviets but empower extremists. Across Latin America, Operation Condor-linked coups hit Bolivia, Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile. Nicaragua's Contras, backed by Washington, fuel a decade of conflict. Attempts also hit Seychelles, Ghana, Dominican Republic, and Panama, where Noriega is removed by invasion. Post-Cold War, the playbook changes but the goal doesn't. Yugoslavia, 1999. Pressure helps push out Milosevic. Afghanistan, 2001. Iraq, 2003. Libya, 2011. Regimes fall but instability explodes. Haiti, 2004. Kyrgyzstan, 2005 and 2010. Honduras, 2009. Ukraine, 2014. Venezuela, 2019. Backed uprisings or pressure campaigns. And in Iran, 2020 to 2025, bombings, sanctions, cyber ops, and covert aid failed to change the regime. From Rome to Tehran, Santiago to Kabul, 93 attempts. In the end, all of them failed.
So what?
So imagine the money that was spent, like this person said in this, imagine the money that was spent on all this regime change stuff that could have been spent here.
On helping.
Imagine if they would have invested all this money in education, healthcare, and peace. The USA would be a first world country with the happiest and healthiest people in the world, and the world would be a better place. You seeing that?
Yes.
Think about that. And then look at the condition of our country right now, what we're doing just to the vets that they used to do all this. Are now either in prison, homeless, looking for a job, maybe has a job, working paycheck to paycheck, trying to make ends meet, et cetera, et cetera. And come back to a country where the elections are rigged, right? Constitution is being used as toilet paper. People's rights are being trampled on. They think that we serve them and they serve us. So just imagine if that money would have been invested here, and each country would have just invested in themselves without all this regime change interference over the past few decades.
Each country has so much resources that they should all be wealthy, but right, doesn't trickle down to the people.
So what is this teaching us in the end, you guys? That pretty much every government official that gets into bed with these big corporations and the beast money system, they don't work for you and they don't liberate people. They spread their tentacles further and further, and that both the Democrats and the Republicans, they need to use your children's future to continue to drop bombs to.
All right, now let me talk about these bombs. Look at the cost of each bomb that they can. All right, the U.S. has sent $21.7 billion in military aid to Israel in the last 2 years. Annual appropriations in 2024, $3.8 billion. Israel Security Supplemental 2024, $14 billion. Annual appropriations 2025, $3.8 billion. Right. We see the fighter jets, $8.6 billion. Trump awards contract to build 50 fighter jets for Israel, paid for by American taxpayers. Also, the Pentagon failed another audit, and there was billions missing that went to Israel. We don't know where it's at.
And further, and that both the Democrats and the Republicans, they need to use your children's future to continue to drop bombs to further spread communism on both the left and the right. And why I'm frustrated with this guy right here is because he said he wasn't going to go do that, and that he was going to make America great again. But now they're looking at Cuba and then Iran after that.
He did something people talked about doing. You just wait for Cuba. Cuba is a communist dictatorship that's killed priests and nuns.
All for these guys.
So we're gonna, Miss Sheepdog's gonna read something. Let me before you do, let me do something real quick here. We got go ahead, Miss Sheepdog.
I was just going to read this page from The Fruit from a Poisonous Tree. It's page 116. It says, those who refuse to learn the lessons of history are bound to repeat the mistake. History is replete with examples of nations whose government permitted private centralized banks to control and debauch their currency. The ultimate mathematical equation is complete, and total bankruptcy for all but the elite. Widespread poverty, lawlessness, and anarchy, much the same environments as paved the way for the Second War, is being visited upon us again, and by the same people. When not, if our own economy collapses, the people will accept anything, even a despot like Hitler, who claims he can save you from financial ruin. The international banks have historically been responsible for crisis after crisis and have invariably had their man waiting in the wing with the solution for the problem they create. In the case of the federal government, we can print money, digitalize, to pay for our folly for a time, but we will continue to debate our currency, and then we will have a financial collapse. That is the road we are on today. This is the direction in which the humanitarians are leading us. But there is nothing humanitarian about the collapse of great industrial civilization. There's nothing humanitarian about a dictatorship that must inevitably take over as terrified people cry out for leadership. There's nothing humanitarian about the loss of freedom.
Miss Sheepdog, may I ask where you found that Bible verse at? Just kidding.
That's from Fruit from a poisonous tree.
Yeah. Is there a way you could post that? I got a couple of people I would need to send that to.
Yes, I'll post it right now. Yeah, that's an excellent book. It has all sorts of. You'll understand the whole background of everything. Reading that. Also, Forbidden Civics, another real good one.
Instead of Luke, I'm gonna call that one like Brian 111.
There you go.
Believe me. Military leaders saying you could not possibly kill the families of would-be terrorists, and they would not follow the order. And his answer, Donald Trump's answer on what if the generals won't listen to you when you say take out the families? Oh, they'll listen. That's really not the answer.
No, I got some response from vets on that saying you're not just going to follow that order if it's unlawful. Go ahead and kill the families. Go ahead and torture. Go ahead and go further than waterboarding. What happens when people follow those orders or don't follow them? It's not clear that Donald Trump will have their back. Donald Trump is oftentimes about Donald Trump. And so if you're not changing the law and you're just saying it, you create even more ambiguity.
Military's not even going to follow his orders.
Military's not going to follow illegal orders. And so the Trump campaign was forced to change their position and say, we're going to try to change the law so that the military can operate within the law. That's a tall order also.
There are some guys at Leavenworth who made really bad choices on the battlefield. And I do think there have to be consequences for abject war crimes. If you're doing something that is just completely unlawful and ruthless, then there is a consequence for that. That's why the military said it won't follow unlawful orders from their commander-in-chief. There's a standard, there's an ethos, there's a belief that we are above what so many things that our enemies or others would do.
And then we fast forward to today. We have him. They're going after Kelly, right?
And the law is what? The Constitution. Mayberry versus Madison. Any law repugnant to the Constitution is null and void.
So that was a 2016 video of Pete Hegseth that he exposes the staggering hypocrisy. He said that the military must refuse unlawful orders, and the very stance he is now punishing Senator Kelly for taking. Yeah. Crazy. It's a little night and day back and forth going on here. Here he is in May in 2025 talking about about regime changes, that
these globalist ideas that you're gonna change an entire society through military intervention, which you saw us attempting. I lived it in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then you see the consequences. We've seen that movie before. We're not doing it again.
all right, we've seen that movie before. We're not doing it again. Fast forward to J6 today, and it's quite the opposite. So it's just throwing people off. All right, so we'll continue here. Turning Point is, remember I told you about the boards, the people other than Charlie Kirk, who sits on the board at Turning Point, and who are they connected to?
The Charlie Kirk TPUSA. The weirdest part about the whole thing, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino co-wrote a book on psychological warfare while he was stationed at the Presidio in San Francisco. And he was a Satanist. He was a practicing Satanist, and never denied it. He wrote this book, Mind War. And this became the manual for how to change the minds of large groups of people. Well, the guy he wrote the book with is named Gregory S. Cease. He sits on the board at TPUSA. The guy that co-wrote the book on psychological warfare with Lieutenant Colonel Michael Aquino, a noted Satanist. And then, you kind of think about what is TPUSA doing? And the answer is trying to change the minds of large groups of people, right?
So you see what Turning Point really is about,
Charlie Kirk.
Right? And that's why they wanted it in the schools, because to get the children, because they know after the boomer generation passes that the whole Zionism movement or whatever they had collapses, because there's no one there that believes it anymore. That's why they're battling with the youth right now, targeting. So they're wanting to go all the way to high school, starting there, to get them ready for the political world when they get out into the real world, right? And they're make sure they know how they're gonna vote, and install certain things into them that maybe normally may go against their upbringing or maybe even their own religion, right?
Sorry if I missed something, but then that's when Gen X kicks in. Dun, dun, dun.
Ta-da.
That's it.
So mind war in politics, psychological operations, geo-tracking. Oh, here's Senator Graham here. Let's see.
So I pray.
Hey, never go full retard, guys. He went full retard right here.
So I pray and hope that 2026 will be the
What is
year
this?
that we make a run great again.
Oh my God.
Is
That's gotta be AI.
that's cringy.
It's crazy.
This is weird. And doesn't that send off a weird vibe? Is it just me? Why did he put a hat on like he just got picked up #1 pick in the NFL draft? Or no, wait, he's picking which college he's going to play football at. So he's putting on the Longhorns hat or the Texas A&M Aggies hat.
He is the funniest actor.
2026.
So he is the funny. He's the funniest actor, though.
Yeah.
So
he is.
I pray and
So which college are you going to pick to play football at, Lady G?
hope that 2026 will be
Iran? There it is. He picked it,
the
guys.
year that we make a run great again.
That's funny. How about America first, right?
How are y'all getting ahead of us? Did somebody, when you went and voted, did you think in your mind that you would see this day?
Maybe there's
So
something
I
more to
pray
that.
and hope that 2026 will be the year that we make a run great again.
He's like froze up.
Maybe it could be part of the original America. North America, South America, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get off the.
I'm just saying there could be more to that, but
Oh, there's always more.
it is funny though.
Feel like we're in a twilight zone.
Yeah.
So Lady G here, South Carolina senator, wants to make Iran great again. Shit, dude. I wonder what he did for that. You know, I don't even want to know. Like Keating said, don't even want to know what videos they got blackmail on him about. I don't want to know what blackmail they have on this
Right.
individual.
Controlled by his chip. His augmented chip.
I'm laughing. I just wasn't keyed up.
That's my Mega.
What's up, my Mega?
Mega. Make Israel, Iran great again. Again? What do you mean? So here is a town hall meeting. I think this is why they don't do town halls. Have y'all noticed nobody does town halls? But they do meet with Netanyahu and stuff like that. They'll have those meetings in synagogues. They'll go meet with them, but they won't, like Mike Johnson. Is he in Florida? I mean, Florida, Louisiana. Has anybody seen him there? Or Dan Crenshaw or Ted Cruz or Adam Schiff or any of these people? I don't think so. They live in a whole other world. Or that's not how it should be. And the reason why they don't do these town halls is because you get situations like this.
Shame. Celebrate. Oh, please. There's no celebration. No celebration. You have voted for our Israel. Every vote. I have a suggestion. Would you listen to the suggestion? Vote for Graham Plattner! Yeah!
My name is Graham Plattner, and I'm running for U.S. Senate in Maine to defeat Susan Collins. The difference between Susan Collins and Ted Cruz is at least Ted Cruz is honest about selling us out and not giving a damn.
Listen, I came into Congress 13 years ago with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
People know that the system is screwing them. They know it in their bones. Nobody I know around here can afford a house. Healthcare is a disaster. Hospitals are closing. We have watched all of that get ripped away from us. Nothing in Sullivan, Maine improved Because of the wars in Iraq or Afghanistan, nothing in Sullivan, Maine is going to improve because of our funding of the genocide. You're supposed to fight for the things you love. This is our home, and I will fight tirelessly for it, for you. It's Mainers first.
It's Mainers first, right? You better have some Mainers, Maynard. So these are different people running for Congress because to replace, right? But there wasn't an awakening taking place even back in the day. Cheating's probably familiar with this show, the Montel Williams. Anybody watch the Montel Williams show?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes.
I think this is Montel Williams.
Years of age. At that time, my whole family is wiped out.
Yes, sir. Yes, the Holocaust is big business because Germany so far has given the Jews, I think, at least $200 billion. So it's big business. And some of you are still getting $1,000 a month. And a lot of people don't know this. And then people don't realize who brought the slaves to America. They were Jewish ships.
Wait a minute. That's a whole nother thing. Let's take a break because we're...
You don't want to get canceled.
My whole family is wiped.
Whoa. Let's just stay focused on the Holocaust here. The Holy cost us billions. That's what it is. Holy cost. What is the holy cost? Well, Germany sent them billions, and like he said, I bet y'all didn't know they get $1,000 a month. Think about the money. That was in what, 80s, 90s right here?
Yes.
That was a lot of money.
Oh yeah.
That holy cost a lot of money. All right, so we did the glow thing. Okay, covered that. Brace for ops you've never thought possible. Keep your cool and stay together. There is now an effort to delegitimize the majority of MAGA. So also this is from Trans Splendor at Trans Splendor on X. Let's check it out. Entertainment purposes only.
MAGA America raises a really good point here about Dan Bongino shouldn't be able to survive this. His brand should not be able to survive this credibility crisis, yet it's going to. Not only is it going to, what I'm witnessing here is the biggest matrix shift ever recorded, where a gigantic chunk of Trump's core base, his strongest patriots, the ones who were an inch away from blackpilling on life until they saw, oh my God, he's going to represent our interests. There's no reason to quit because he's opposing. Drain the swamp, drain the swamp. Everything that they were cultivated to get on board with MAGA for is now 180 being flipped on its head. Not just that, you're being kicked out of the Ziodome. They intend to outlaw your thought. They intend to brand you as blackmail, subversive, grifters, whatever they need to do. You're not in their plans anymore, and that should be terrifying. Now, the thing that you can take solace in is that you're a gigantic group. Most of them are robots and illusions, and it's just PR teams, and the whole system works for them. And Elon, I've told you he's a half Matrix demon. Elon is Gollum. Half of him is evil, and half of him wants to do right. So we're in a Gollum phase where he's cheering for the neocons, my precious, right? But we want that Smeagol to come back, the one that allows us to actually tweet this stuff, even though it's going to be shadow banned. And so he's going along pushing this. We're in the Ziodome. This is good. Look at them taking everyone out. We should be so happy about what we've been given by Lord Trump. And the goal is for you guys to be, and I think I talked about this in the spaces, and I'll try and upload that video. The goal is to get you out. A huge section of MAGA is going to be outlawed. Like 30% of America is now going to sit outside while Dan Bongino and the 10% of fools, the 10% of the lowest hanging fruit patriots who believe anything that the Zio sloppers
I'm going to pause right there. So did y'all hear that? So some of MAGA is going to be silenced now, right? If they're not within a certain line of what they want to be pushed, I guess, so to speak. Like I said, freedom of speech, but not freedom of reach. So they're going to do some unconstitutional actions with these platforms, but that's fine. that just exposes it even more. What's really taking place here? When you can't talk about a certain group of people, then that certain group of people is actually pushing the levers of control in the background, trying to silence our voice, which goes against everything this country was founded on. Found it on. All right. We can go back to the Iroquois. Let's check this out. So they're going to silence a portion of people. Are y'all in agreement with that? Should anybody be silenced?
No,
Right,
I don't want to
especially-
be silenced. They can kiss my alabaster ass.
So you want accountability, and they're telling you to shut the hell up and eat popcorn.
I'm not. I can't. I ran out of money for freaking popcorn a long ass time ago.
Right.
But we want that Schmiegel to come back, the one that allows us to actually tweet this stuff, even though it's going to be shadow banned. And so he's going along pushing this. We're in the Ziodome. This is good. Look at them taking everyone out. We should be so happy about what we've been given by Lord Trump. And the goal is for you guys to be, and I think I talked about this in the spaces, and I'll try and upload that video. The goal is to get you out. A huge section of MAGA is going to be outlawed. Like 30% of America is now going to sit outside while Dan Bongino and the 10% of fools, the 10% of the lowest hanging fruit patriots who believe anything that the Ziosloppers slop into their mouths are going to be the Praetorian Guard on a hated emperor. Like Trump is becoming Maduro. And this giant swath of the highest level patriots I've ever witnessed, and I'm actually a big fan of you guys and your group in America, is now on the outside looking in. I don't think it's sustainable. I don't think it'll work, but it is absolutely terrifying that that's their plan. Really, really weird, but you should expect that. I mean, the stuff that Trump has done, you're all in with Satan at that point, okay? Ghislaine Maxwell, I wish her well. Epstein is just a ploy by my political opponents. The hatred of Thomas Massie, the using of Venezuela as a way to throw shade on Rand Paul now, as if it wasn't like his endless track record of having principles about foreign intervention in war that was getting him to speak out about what was being done to Venezuela. Oh, no, it was Venezuela was paying Rand Paul to do that. The witch hunt is on. Stay together. You guys have all the people, you have all the numbers, but you need to organize. There needs to be something like a big grouping of the people, peaceful grouping of the people that will hold together between the Massey, the MTG. The few heroes you have a shit ton of people. And the Matrix is working overtime to convince you you're not this huge force of people. So, yeah, interesting times ahead.
There we go. Like I said, it would be great to see like different viewpoints on one or just Americans, instead of saying, oh, we're right or left. There's different viewpoints and opinions of people and what they want, and we can see that we're all have all the same common goals for humanity. Did anyone think that this would be taking place? Our constitutional rights were going to be violated moving forward?
People
even
forgot
further?
about our constitutional rights. That's the problem.
Yeah, I understand.
So, yeah. We're
And their
gonna be
excuses-
pushed until we know it.
It's their platforms. Well, they're operating within our country, though, and they're acting unconstitutionally, though. Should that even be? All right,
Gotta be on
so
the right side.
there we go, guys. Get ready for some weird shit to happen.
Yeah, 2026.
Weird
It's
shit.
gonna be crazy.
Weird shit like this. Psychological operation.
You spin my head right around when you go down,
Hey, I got the house with my swagger, hopping there with yo, I got places to go. People to see, time is precious. I look at my Cartier out of control. Just like my mind where I'm going, the women, the shorties know nothing but clothes. No stopping at my Pirelli's on. Unlike my jewelry, that's always on. I know the storm is coming, my pockets keep telling me it's gonna shower. Call up my homies, it's on and popping the night, cause it's meant to be ours.
That was cool. So that was from that was shared out by Scriptkeeper 17 on X, right? So the Act of 1871, I'll read this right here. This was February 21st, 1871. Congress passes an act to provide a government for the District of Columbia, also known as quote unquote Act of 1871. With no constitutional authority to do so, Congress creates a separate form of government for the District of Columbia, a 10 square mile parcel of land. You can see Acts of 41st Congress, Section 34, Section 3, or Session 3, Chapter 61 and 62. The act passed when the country was weakened and financially depleted in the aftermath of the Civil War. Right. So that was a strategic move by foreign interest, the international bankers, who were intent upon gaining a stranglehold on the coffers and the neck of America. So Congress cut a deal with the international bankers, specifically Rothschilds of London, to incur a debt, all caps, to said bankers, because the bankers were not about to lend money to a floundering nation without serious stipulations, right? So they devised a way to get their foot in the door of the United States. So the Act of 1871 formed a corporation called the United States. The corporation owned by foreign interests. They moved in and shoved the original Constitution in a dustbin. So with the Act of 1871, the organic Constitution was defaced, in effect, vandalized, and sabotaged. So when the title was capitalized and the word "for" was changed to "of" in the title, the Constitution of the United States of America is the Constitution of Incorporated United States of America, all caps. It operates in an economic capacity and has been used to fool the people into thinking it governs the republic, but it does not. So capitalization is not insignificant, okay? That's why I put it in all caps when one is referring to a legal document. This seemingly minor alteration has had a major impact on every subsequent generation of Americans. So what Congress did by passing the Act of 1871 was create an entirely new document, a constitution for the government of the District of Columbia, and incorporated, all caps, government. This newly altered constitution was not intended to benefit the republic. It benefits only the corporation of the all caps United States of America and operates entirely outside of the original organic constitution. So instead of having absolute and unalienable rights guaranteed under the organic constitution, we the people now have relative, quote unquote, rights of privileges. So one example is the sovereign's right to travel, which has now been transformed under corporate government policy into a privilege that requires citizens to be licensed. So as long as they're operating under this all caps, then what they're doing with this unconstitutional stuff is all, yeah, it's unconstitutional.
It's all bullshit. It's fake.
They're operating as corporation.
It's fraud. I put the video of the Act of 1871 in the chat because this one really is the one
I'll
that
make a
pisses
video
me off.
for this.
Yes.
What?
I could do I could take this text and then turn it into a video and
Oh yeah,
make it
it explains everything. Like that was besides the adrenochrome got me, and this video got me. I was like, son of a bitch, like that explains why everything I know to be bullshit is really bullshit. It wasn't me the whole time. It was them.
That's right.
Right.
That's it.
So if you want to have a conversation about 2020, we also need to be having a conversation about the Act of 1871 and what, right? So pretty much all the since then the elections have been under the corporation and not the republic.
Yes.
Or selections. That's why we say selections, because they pick certain as well. They're all Masons. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, they're
all the way across the top. Yeah.
It's part of their whole thing to keep it.
So now you see the bigger picture. So you're being fooled again if you're not having this conversation in the Act of 1871 into thinking that that's legitimate.
That's right.
2020 was not legitimate. 2017, 2024,
Right.
all
So
of it.
stop fighting for the quote. Right. We got to
Is it,
get back to the republic.
but you can't have a republic if people don't realize you're not in one.
Exactly.
Yeah, the best slaves don't know they're freaking slaves. I put that in the news chats all the time. I'm like, go to Act of 1871, look that up. Go to Smith Mundt. I put that in those news chats, and hopefully one person, a couple of people will give me a thumbs up on it, but most of the time people don't realize that they're slaves, so they don't even notice what I've written.
And they don't know the history, and that's the issue. Because we can't.
Plus you have to be able to say the best slaves don't know they're slaves. Like, you can't be afraid to say that because you might offend somebody. I don't give a fuck if I offend anybody.
That's
They can
right.
kiss my ass if they're offended. Go
It
figure
is
out
what
why
it is.
you're offended.
Exactly.
Larkin Rose does a video. Remember that? Where
yeah.
where the slaves get freed, and they're like, well, how are we going to maintain control? Oh, we'll give them an illusion that they get to pick a president or someone, a new slave master or the plantation owner. They get to decide between this plantation owner or that plantation owner. And that was Republican, the two-party system.
Jones Plantation.
It's called Jones Plantation on Amazon or Prime
He
Video.
also has a book.
And he also has a book. But yeah, they give them the illusion that they're picking a new, just all we're picking is another plantation owner,
And
but we're still on the plantation, thinking we're free.
And the new one they picked was the same as they thought was the same of him, but he was working for the old.
Right. Either way, you're still working. They're still working for the.
Yeah.
That's the good old boy club.
For the main.
So, by passing the Act of 1871, Congress committed treason.
Yes.
I repeat. By passing the Act of 1871, Congress committed treason against the people who were sovereign under the grants and decrees of the Declaration of Independence and the Organic Constitution. Information is courtesy of Lisa Giuliani. BabeMagazine.com, no longer in operation. The Act of 1871 became a foundation of all the treason, foundation, all caps, treason since committed by government officials. The following is an expansion and further explanation of the above, and an adaptation of Lisa's work done with her permission, which you may want to read for your own edification. Whereas my chapter 9 is a time map of the major headlines and landmines of the 200 years plus history of America. Each subsequent chapter goes into particular details, and this section is from chapter 18, The Tale of Two Governments, which overall addresses the difference between a democracy and a republic, as well as the fact that of a federal government and a shadow government is practicing under the guise of the corporation. So talking about the shadow government, you're talking about, and you don't know what the Act of 1871, that's when it was created. It's been a shadow government since 1871.
Yes.
All right. And people don't realize that. Or they think it's a republic, or people want to say republic, and they don't realize the shadow when it was created. So I'm sure Lisa won't mind using what you need in order to make whatever point you wish to make in the moment. All right. So there you go. Two federal governments. So that's the difference between democracy and a republic. The shadow government practicing under the guise of a corporation. So the United States isn't a country. It's a corporation.
It's a corporation run by a corporation.
So are you still wanting the corporation to still be in charge and still keep, I don't get it. Are we really talking about a true republic, or are we just talking about it?
Probably not.
Just saying it.
About it.
Because when you look at it here, it's like, well, if we're going to worry about the 2020 selection, then you're still falling for the okie doke, because it's not even about
exactly what they want.
Exactly what they want. So they can continue their agenda 2030, 2020, 2040, whatever the hell, 2060, agenda 2080. Like they're hundreds of years ahead with their agendas, and we think that we have a way of steering the ship by selecting the next puppet who steers it in the direction that they can't. Right. So the agenda keeps going down a track regardless of who you vote for. It's going straight, nonstop, just full speed ahead down the tracks, and you're voting, but the train keeps moving. Why is that? Why are the people's voices not being heard? Because I know this isn't what most of humanity or most of Americans want, is what's taking place today, more of the same. But we got to identify through education what's taking place here. So the United States isn't a country, it's a corporation in preparation for stealing America. The puppets of Britain's banking cabal had already created a second government, a shadow government designed to manage what the common herd believed was a democracy. Like the Democrats keep saying, democracy now, democracy now, democracy now. This is democracy. It's an illusion.
Yes.
And every time you say that, and these people are CNN, MSNBC, high-paid script readers, or drilling this into people's heads. It's democracy, it's democracy. But what really wasn't incorporated, but really was an incorporated United States, all caps. Together, this Shamira, this two-headed monster, disallowed the common herd all the rights of the sui juris, you and your sovereignty. So Congress, with no authority to do so, created a separate form of government for the District of Columbia, a 10-mile square parcel of land. Why and how did they do so? First, Lisa Giuliani, a Babel magazine, reminds us that the Civil War was in fact little more than a calculated front with fancy footwork by backroom players. That's what they're saying. Well, Civil War is an oxymoron. There's nothing civil about a war. And that means that two people or two groups sat down and had a discussion. And this right here, it says backroom players, fancy work by backroom players. They came to an agreement. So the Civil War was an illusion, but in the back room. So who was the first president after Lincoln? Was it a general in the military? Wasn't it Grant? Somebody could fact check that. If so, wouldn't that be? I haven't heard of any other president being prior military other than that moment in history when they created the shadow government after the war. So then she adds, remember Lincoln was assassinated. That's more theater, right? At a theater. The hidden hand. That's what the hidden hand is. The Act of 1871. She then adds, it was also a strategic mover by British and European interests, international bankers, right? Keep in mind the Titanic going down and what went down with it. That time frame coming after 1871. When was it? Titanic was 1907. I don't know the exact. Anybody know the 1911 or 1917? Oh. It was also a strategic mover by British and European interests, international bankers, intent on gaining a stranglehold on the coffers of America. And because Congress knew our country was in dire financial straits, certain members of Congress, they cut a damn deal with the international bankers. So in those days, the Rothschilds of London were dipping their fingers into everyone's pie.
It was Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson, okay.
Yes, and he was a general during the American Civil War.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then it was Grant. That's why
it was Grant. So back-to-back military, right?
That's why when they say Trump's supposed to be like the 19th president, going back to Grant, and everything else was supposed to be erased. But boy, that sure sounded good. How long? We have to wait for that. But
that may be possible. Then that.
Well, if that would be great if that was possible. That'd be awesome.
Well, who was the 19th president? Huh? Grant?
Yeah.
Well, I think he might have been the 18th because Trump was supposed to be the 19th.
Put in the chat who was the.
Well, Grant was the one that's when the corporation started. So is Trump trying to restore the corporation because it's gone? And we're supposed to not go along with that.
So real quick, Grant was the 18th president, and he did 2 terms, 1869 to 1877.
Okay.
So there you have the why. Why members of Congress permitted the international bankers to gain further control of America. So then by passing the Act of 1871, Congress formed a corporation known as the caps, all caps, the United States. So when they say the United States is do the United States this, United States that, they're talking about the military industrial complex, all caps corporation. Right? Everybody's like, oh yeah, that's just for the I'm like, that's not for us, that's for the corporation. So this corporation, that's why Trump's name is all caps, right? He's a brand, he's a persona,
Right.
right? All caps. Buildings, right? So this corporation, owned by foreign interests, shoved the organic version of the Constitution aside by changing the word for to of in the title. So let me explain. The original Constitution drafted by the Founding Fathers read, the Constitution for the United States of America. Note that neither the words United nor States began with capital letters. But the Constitution of the United States of America in all caps. So when you see that, you know that's the corporate Constitution. So you can just tell if it's in all caps or lowercase right off the bat. You don't even have to look at the for or of.
Like it says state of
State
Texas.
of or Texas State.
Yeah.
Texas State all caps.
One will be in all caps and the other one's
So there's 100 states in America, not 50.
yes.
So in each state is a shadow government. Right. So, but the Constitution of the United States of America, all caps, is a corporate constitution, which is absolutely not the same document you think it is. First of all, it ended all of our rights of sovereignty, sui juris, S-U-I,
Sui juris.
space, J-U-R-I-S. You all can look that up. Sui juris.
Sui juris.
Sui juris. So you now have the how the international bankers got their hands on the United States of America, all caps. So to fully understand how our rights of sovereignty were ended, you must know the full meaning of sovereign, which means chief or highest, supreme power, superior in position to all others, independent of and unlimited by others, possessing or entitled to original and independent authority or jurisdiction. In short, go ahead. Webster. In short, our government, which was created by and for us as sovereigns, free citizens deemed to have the highest authority in the land, that was stolen from us, along with our rights. So keep in mind that, according to the original Constitution, only we the people are sovereign. Government is not sovereign. The Declaration of Independence say government is subject to the constant of the governed. That's us, the sovereigns. When did you last feel like a sovereign? As Lisa Giuliani explained, it doesn't take a rocket scientist or a constitutional historian to figure out that the U.S. government has not been subject to the constant of the governed since long before you or I were born. Rather, the governed are subject to the whim and greed of the corporation, which has stretched its tentacles beyond the 10 square mile parcel of land known as the District of Columbia. Right now, it's in each state, as in all caps: state of Texas, state of California, state of Florida. In fact, or Florida State, or Florida State, California State. In fact, it has invaded every state of the Republic. Mind you, the corporation has no jurisdiction beyond the District of Columbia, and you think it does. You just think it does. You see that you are presumed to know the law, which is very weird since we the people are taught nothing about the law in school. We memorize obscure facts and phrases here and there, like the preamble, which says we the people established this Constitution for the United States of America. But our teachers only gloss over the Bill of Rights, because that's the Bill of Rights is what we use.
Yes, that's ours.
All right, not the Constitution. That's them. Our schools, controlled by the corporate government, they don't delve into the Constitution into depth or at depth. So after all, the corporation was established to indoctrinate and dumb down the masses to not teach anything of value or importance. Certainly, no one mentioned that America was sold out to foreign interests and that we were beneficiaries of the debt incurred by Congress, or that we were in debt to the international bankers. That's why everybody was like, who are we 50 quadrillion bajillion dollars in debt to? Everybody keeps asking, well, who do we got to pay off? The international bankers. Yet for generations, Americans have had the bulk of their earnings confiscated to pay a massive debt that they did not incur. So there's an endless stream of things that people aren't told. So, and now that you are being told, how do you feel about being made the recipient of a debt without your knowledge or consent? So after passage of the Act of 1871, Congress set a series of subtle and overt deceptions into motion. Deception in the form of decisions that were meant to sell us down the river. Over time, the Republic took it on the chin until it was knocked down and counted out by a damn TKO knockout with the surrender of the people's gold in 1933. Of course, 33. The common herd was handed over to illegitimate law. Of course, they had to pick the year 33, right? So I'll bet you weren't even taught that in school, was you? I know I wasn't.
I would have been flipping tables back then. What? And all of a sudden, we lost her again, people.
It's crazy how numbers are so important to them, 1913, 1933, etc.
I think it keeps them in line. It keeps them on script.
There you go.
So our corporate form of governance is based on Roman civil law and admiralty or maritime law, which is also known as the divine right of kings and the quote unquote law of the seas. Another fact of American history not taught in our schools, which is what actually Roman civil law was fully established in the colonies before our nation began and then became managed by private international law. In other words, the government created for the District of Columbia via the Act of 1871 operates solely under private international law, not common law, which was the foundation of our constitutional republic. So this fact has impacted all Americans in concrete ways. For instance, although private international law is technically only applicable within the District of Columbia and not in the other states of the Union, the arms of the Corporation of the United States, all caps, are called departments. Right? Didn't we say their God was what? In the Tom Street base? He said their God is governments, ordinances, and departments. 1871 is all caps. That's what he's saying. Their God is the corporation, all caps. Right? Government, ordinances, and departments. So the arms of the Corporation of the United States, all caps, are called departments. Police department. So you can go on. If everybody else wants to go on with the departments, I'm going to keep moving. I.e., the Justice Department, the Treasury Department, and those departments affect everyone, no matter where and in what state they live. So guess what? Each department belongs to the corporation, to the all caps United States. So refer any United States Code, USC. Refer to any United States Code, all caps USC. Note the capitalization. This is evidence of a corporation, not a republic. For example, in Title 28, 3002, 15 Alpha Bravo Charlie is unequivocally stated that the United States is a corporation. Translation: the corporation is not a separate and distinct entity. It is not disconnected from the government. It is the government, your government, but it's theirs. This is extremely important. I refer to it as the corporate empire, all caps, of the United States, all caps, which operates under Roman civil law outside the original Constitution. How do you like being ruled by a corporation? Anybody? And it only exists on paper as per the Clearfield Doctrine, right? You don't remember? Right? This thing only exists on paper. So we can the chains aren't steel, they're paper. So we can break paper chains, right? Some of us are strong enough to break paper chains, right? So you say you'll ask your congressperson about this, right? Congress is fully aware of this deception. So it's time that you too become aware of the deception. So what this great deception means is that the members of Congress do not work for us, for you and me. That's why they keep doing what they're doing. So until we fix this, it's going to be the same shit. We're going to be in a loop.
They probably weren't even voted in.
Over and over and over.
They
People
probably
think
were
that,
not.
and even coming in with this new group of people running for Congress now.
Yeah, they were probably not even voted in. None of them. It was probably just a big show on TV, and that's how they did it.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, lady, and I didn't have my earpiece in.
Oh, I said none of them were probably even voted in. It was just a big show.
Yes.
If you think the whole TV, everything, it's all been just a show programming. It depends. Even the sitcoms, all of it. It was all programming to keep us in line, to keep us dumb, to keep us to get us into all of this. Eventually, this transgender stuff. This, there's nothing wrong with if people are gay. Whatever, do what you got to do. But the thing where it became a problem for me is when people are doing stuff in public, when they're shoving it down our faces and making it normal. Because it's not a lot of people. It is now only because they were pushing it on TV for people to see. And then they, really, gay men didn't really fly around, now they fly around. And it really is not something you need to see, especially little kids. And they just made it so normal that it was like a gang. And if you could be part of this gang, it's not like I saw my aunt and uncle kiss a few times a year. He might tap my aunt on the hiney like once every 6 months, that's what I grew up with, not seeing things shoved down my throat. And that's what we have to get back to. I'm not stopping until we get back to it because kids should not have to see this.
And the voting is just to, like you said, to keep up the illusion. Plus, they don't really need your vote. They need your consent. That's all that is.
Yeah.
I shared it out for you, Miss Linda.
I posted it on the chats also.
There's the link. So this is why they keep doing the same thing, and we keep saying, why do they keep going in there and sending our money elsewhere? Because they work for the corporation. We don't understand that. We keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result. So what does the great deception means is that the members of Congress do not work for us, for you and me. They work for the corporation, for the United States, all caps. No wonder we can't get them to do anything on our behalf. Y'all get it?
Yes.
Or meet or demands or answer our questions. And that's why law enforcement acts the way they do too. That's why they think the Constitution is an ideology, because they're operating in the shadow government.
Yes.
And they want to treat you like you're the terrorist. Right. So technically, legally, or the enemy of the state, of the people. Technically, legally, or any other way you want to look at the matter, the corporate government of the United States, all caps, has no jurisdiction or authority in any state of the Union, the Republic,
None.
Beyond the District of Columbia. So let that tidbit sink in, and then ask yourself, could this deception have occurred without full knowledge and complicity of the Congress? Do you think it happened by accident? And if you do, you're deceiving yourself. So there are no accidents nor coincidences. So we need to face the facts and confront the truth. And remember, you are presumed to know the law. Ignorance is no excuse.
That's right.
That's why they treat us the way they do, because we don't That's what I hear.
We
Like,
don't know it.
you know why law enforcement treats y'all the way they're allowed to do that? Because you don't know who you are. And once you stand in your power, right, then they start backing off, right? They don't mess with the person that knows their rights and their power, and they exercise and they speak it. And they're not afraid to go to jail or freaking die for it, right? So they know that you don't know the law. So that's why they, Empress said, she said, people have had the knowledge, and it's not fair that they've had the knowledge and they're taking advantage of the people that don't have the knowledge. Or you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what she was talking about. So
Well,
they
hey,
know they're doing wrong, but they're still, they know this.
Yeah,
They know they're doing wrong to us. But they get away with it because we don't know
And
the law.
They're banking that we
stay ignorant.
stay
So the people awake is what they fear, not the sleepers. They don't fear the person that decides to pays the fine and goes to whatever. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't fight it or doesn't stand in their power. So, or their status, correcting their status. So they, all caps. So when we say they, think all caps. Everybody's like, who's they? All caps, corporation. So we got to face the facts, confront the truth, and remember you are presumed to know the law. They, all caps, know that you don't know the law, or for that matter, your history. Why is that? Because no concerted effort was ever made to teach or otherwise inform you. So as a sovereign, you are entitled to full disclosure of all facts. As a slave, you are entitled to nothing other than what the corporation decides to give you. That's why they're like, well, they're not going to give us all the files. They're not going to. You're right. They're not.
No, they're not.
That's why you're not getting it. They don't serve you, sir. They don't owe you nothing
According to them,
because you're a slave, all caps, and you're in the book of dead. Where we
they
are in the
can't
book of dead.
hear us.
They can't hear, right? Because you're not staying. There you go. They can't hear us.
They can't hear the dead.
That's what the wounded ear on Trump is. They can't hear.
Right.
Like when Hogan does the ear hand to the ear to hear the crowd, because everyone's tacit. So as a slave, you're entitled to nothing other than what the corporation decides to give you. So remember also that ignorance of the law is no excuse. It is your responsibility and obligation to learn the law and to know how it applies to you. No wonder the corporation counted on the fact that most people are too indifferent and unconcerned and distracted or lazy to learn what they need to know to survive within this matrix, within this system. We have been conditioned to let government do our thinking for us. Now is the time to turn that around if we intend to help save our republic and ourselves before it's too late. All right. So as an instrument of the international bankers, the United States, all caps, owns you from birth to death. It also holds ownership of all your assets, of your property, even of your children. So think long and hard about all the bills, all the taxes, all the fines and licenses that you have paid for or purchased. Yes, they had you by the pockets or by the balls, as George Carlin says. They got you by the balls. So if you don't believe it, read the 14th Amendment. See how free you really are. So ignorance of the facts led to your silence. Silence is construed as consent. Consent to be beneficiaries of a debt that you did not incur. So as a sovereign people, we have been deceived for hundreds of years. Let's come to that conclusion, can we? We think we are free, but in truth, we are servants of the corporation. Congress committed treason against the people in 1871.
Yes.
Can we highlight this? Here. Let me put this in the chat. Y'all can highlight that. Y'all can put that on your damn Facebook feed.
Oh, I do. I do put this stuff out. That's the video I sent you. It's 6 minutes. If you guys want to share it, it'll really help people understand everything that you just read.
There you go.
I sent it to you. The one she sent me, she's talking about.
Hey, before you play that, I want to say something. You know, the past like 8 years or even more for some people that we studied the Act of 1871 and we learned everything. I just want to say tonight's presentation, Chief Dog, you did really good, man. This was a great dive. You had me so focused, and even though I knew everything you said, it's just to hear it again the way you presented it was so awesome, man. I wish this section of the video would go viral. You did a hell of a job right there, man. That sure opened up my eyes again.
Oh,
That was
I'll put
awesome.
it out. I'll put it out. You clip this part, I'll put it out.
And I
That
encourage
was
people to take this and do it and read it on your podcast or read it on if you have a TikTok or anything, share this with somebody.
Video.
Dude,
yeah, but the
just
way you said it, I'm just giving you hats off tonight on that one, man. You did a hell of a job with that. You sucked me in so hard. That was awesome.
thank you.
Yeah,
Well,
you pat yourself
thank
on the
you.
back on
All
that
glory
one.
be to the Creator for.
Jeez Louise. That was probably one of the best things you've ever done, even on Mike's show. That was awesome, man. You're getting good or something. That was just
Well,
great.
it's hard. It's just a lot of work. It's just everything is becoming more and more clearer, more so I can explain it. But if I would have read this 4 years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do what I'm doing tonight because we've been reiterating this, kicking a dead horse. Not really a dead horse. Really, actually, we've been kicking a dead horse, all caps, over for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, which is allowing this to flourish even more. Hopefully for tonight, maybe some people are just now hearing this for the first time. If so, please take this template here. You can teach, you read it. If somebody needs some damn receipts, here you go. Right? We can get to a point where we can start realizing what's the shadow government, what isn't, what's a democracy, what's a republic, what's de facto, what's de jure, and how long this has been taking place, so that we don't get caught in a loop, right? Thinking that the 2020 election was the only election that was, and it's bigger than elections, though. Just saying. So honest men could have corrected the fraud and treason, right? But apparently there weren't enough honest men to counteract the lust for money and power. And I also want to thank Lisa and the people that created this PowerPoint, right, as well, to share. So we lost more freedom than we will ever know, thanks to corporate infiltration of our so-called government. It's their government, folks, right? When they say United States, that's theirs. It's not yours. You say, "Oh, well, it's not my government." That's not yours. Do you think that any soldier who died in any of our many wars would have fought if he or she had known the truth? And this is the hard part right here, right? Because for generations we have been going into wars and killing each other for land and freedom, and we've been there was no way out. We were already captured, and people didn't even know it for since at least 1213. Right? So do you think that any soldier who died in any of our many wars would have fought if he or she would have known the truth? Do you think one person would have laid down his or her life for a corporation? How long will we remain silent? How long will we perpetuate the myth that we are free? So when will we stand together as one sovereign people? When will we take back what has been as stolen from us? If we, the people of America, had known to what extent their trust was betrayed, how long would it have taken for a real revolution to occur? What we need is a revolution in thought. So I said it's the mind. I said the revolution will not be televised. Why is that? Red hat, red and blue. Combine both, get purple. It's opening your mind. As a man thinketh, open your mind, get the education, see, because we're the battlefield's in the mind. That's where the prison's at mentally. Once we wake up to these facts, we can free ourselves in the physical and the spiritual. So we need to change our thinking, and then we can change our world. Our children deserve the rightful legacy, right? The liberty of our ancestors fought to preserve, the legacy of a sovereign and fully free people.
So I always thought that I lived as free as I possibly could, always. And when I got involved in this act of 1871, that's when I blew my gasket, my redheaded, just my ears. I'm sure there was smoke coming out when I first got a hold of this. I'm like, no wonder, And there was nobody willing to stand up. They're like, no, man, we're going to get some money out of this and we're going to get all the power. You know, screw those other people. It's like, no, you stand up for everybody. You don't just stand up for your friends, for yourself, for your family, all them. You stand up for everybody. Like if I go after somebody, and I really, I'll go after somebody. And when I do, I'm not only bitch slapping them through the internet or in person. I don't give a shit. I'm slapping them for everybody they've ever messed up, the people they're messing up at that moment, and for the future. So they rethink what they're doing. Like you take on people just because it's just the right thing to do. I don't know. I've never, huh?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I've had a county lady that I had to talk to on the phone, and I had to talk to somebody from DMV. Both of them hung up on me multiple times.
A third city-state was officially created in 1982. That city-state is called the District of Columbia and is located on 10 square miles of land in the heart of Washington. The District of Columbia flies its own flag and has its own independent constitution. Although geographically separate, the city-states of London, the Vatican, and the District of Columbia are one interlocking empire called Empire of the City. The flag of Washington's District of Columbia has 3 red stars, one for each city-state in the 3-city empire. This corporate empire of 3 city-states controls the world economically through London's inner city, militarily through the District of Columbia, and spiritually through the Vatican. The Constitution for the District of Columbia operates under a tyrannical Roman law known as Lex Fori, which bears no resemblance to the U.S. Constitution. When Congress passed the Act of 1871, it created a separate corporate government for the District of Columbia. This treasonous act allowed the District of Columbia to operate as a corporation outside the original Constitution of the United States and outside of the best interests of American citizens. A sobering study of the signed treaties and charters between Britain and the United States exposes a shocking truth. The United States has always been, and still is, a British Crown colony. King James I was famous not for just changing the Bible into the King James Version, but for signing the first Charter of Virginia in 1606. That charter granted America's British forefathers a license to settle and colonize America. The charter also guaranteed that future kings and queens of England would have sovereign authority over all the citizens and colonized land in America stolen from the Indians. After America declared its independence from Great Britain, the Treaty of 1783 was signed. That treaty specifically identifies the King of England as the Prince of the United States and contradicts the belief that America won the War of Independence. Although King George III of England gave up most of his claims over his American colonies, he kept his right to continue receiving payment for his business venture of colonizing America. If America had really won the War of Independence, they would never have agreed to pay debts and reparations to the King of England. When Congress passed the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, the U.S. President was made subservient to the King of England. The 13th Amendment is called the Title of Nobility Amendment and forbids U.S. presidents and their officials from using royal titles like King or Prince or Baron. For some mysterious reason, the 13th Amendment, which was ratified in 1810, no longer appears on current copies of the Constitution. America's blood-soaked War of Independence against the British bankrupted America and turned its citizens into permanent debt slaves of the King. In the War of 1812, the British torched and burned to the ground the White House and all U.S. government buildings and destroyed.
Also, I think this is when the Bolsheviks and stuff were being, the Christians were being killed, 1811. Look up the War of 1811, not just here, but worldwide. I'll bring more on that later. It's the War of 1811, 1812, a lot of destruction took place right around that time.
Destroyed ratification records of the U.S. Constitution.
Everything's up in flames. See how this is your history. this is a representation of a drawing showing your history. These buildings burning down, but they didn't. Like these government buildings we see today, they were just there, founded, right?
Yes.
You see how they created it. So FL, when you go to Wikipedia, you'll see like certain people's names will be FLAMES, Ames, or James, or Ames. Flames. Your history went up in flames. They rewrote history.
1 century later, a corrupt U.S. Congress committed the biggest theft in world history. They passed Paul Warburg's Federal Reserve Act in 1913, handing over America's gold and silver reserves and total control of America's economy to the Rothschild banksters. Most Americans still believe that the Fed or Federal Reserve is the government. It is not. The Fed is a privately owned banking system whose majority Class A shareholders are the Rothschilds, Warburgs, Kuhn and Loeb, J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller, Israel Seif, and the Lehman Brothers. This private banking cartel is the Fed and is never audited and never pays taxes. They print and design America's money, which displays their symbols of an Egyptian pyramid, a Masonic all-seeing eye, and the words, "In God we trust." Who exactly is the God they trust? They also collect American taxpayers' money through the IRS. Then they loan it back again with interest to pay for roads, bridges, and other public. Most U.S. citizens believe that the United States is a country and that the president is the most powerful man on earth. The United States is not a country. It is a corporation, and the president is president of the corporation of the United States. He and his elected officials work for the corporation, not for the American people. Since the United States is a corporation, who owns the corporation of the United States?
APEC.
Like Canada and Australia, whose leaders are prime ministers of the Queen and whose land is called Crown Land, the United States is just another crown colony. Crown colonies are controlled by the empire of 3 city-states. At the center of each city-state is a towering, phallic-shaped stone monument called an obelisk that points skyward. In D.C. city-state, the obelisk, known as the Washington Monument, was dedicated to Freemason George Washington by the Freemason Grand Lodge of the District of Columbia. The Secretive Brotherhood of Freemasons laid the Washington obelisk's cornerstone in 1848 and contributed 22 Masonic memorial stones. 250 Masonic lodges financed the Washington Monument obelisk, including the Knights Templar Masonic Order. At the heart of London city-state is a 187-ton, 69-foot tall
Also, they
Egyptian...
hung in the Washington Monument. They hung some Civil War soldiers in there. They never came back out. They went in. They went into the monument and never came back out, according to reports. Right? Allegedly, they were hung, or maybe went somewhere else.
An obelisk called Cleopatra's Needle. It was transported from Egypt and erected on the banks of the River Thames. In Vatican City, another Egyptian obelisk towers high above St. Peter's Square.
There we go. Thank you, Nadine, for that. We'll get that out.
Thank you. I posted it on, Nadine posted it on the chat.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm going to put it out on Twitter again, too, and Facebook, because a lot of people need to see this. And like a year and a half ago, it was tough to get people to watch a 30-second video. Now it's getting to be like they'll watch stuff a little bit more now. But, you know.
That's true.
Here's something a little positive.
Outdoors in nature, the troublemaker becomes the leader. Not just well-behaved, the leader. I hear that over and over again. It raises a question. What are we doing to these kids by keeping them in the classroom all the time, in that cubicle, at that chair, taking test after test after test, canceling recess, canceling field trips, all with this theory we're going to make a better child if we do that to them. But what proportion of the huge increase in the number of kids that are taking stimulants for their behavior, might have something to do with the fact that we took nature away from kids in the first place.
We took a lot from our kids, right? So we got to correct that. So great show tonight, guys. Again, I want to wish everybody a happy Fedsurrection Day. I hope it was yours was as good as mine. Also, if everybody could pray for my mom, that'd be greatly appreciated. And pray for each other, pray for yourselves, trust yourselves. Let's come together, and let's just keep pushing forward. We'll keep bringing stuff like this, and we'll see y'all in the morning.
Yes.
Another great Telegram chat. Thank you to everybody that participated in the drawing for the Afghan from Boots on the Ground. Thank you very much.
And thank you all, team leaders,
That
for
was.
all your help and support.
If you want to see the drawing and the Afghan and all that, you can go to this morning's chat that we uploaded to Rumble here just recently, right after the show. You can go check it out. Subscribe, click like, share. Also, you can see if we did drum rolls, we did applause. We had a pretty good time this morning, or this rising. So really grateful for that, for the tribe, for the people coming. Yeah, it was fun. So thank you, everybody. Cheating, do you got anything? Peace, love, and chicken grease.
No, I just was. Yeah, I do. Real quick. Hello, everyone. Hey, YouTube. I like YouTube. Just that last video with the kids. It's so sad that they have to stick them in these classrooms when they just want to go be creative, you know. So then they say they have ADHD and do things to them. It's just so sad. But yeah, hey, it was a great show tonight, you guys. Everyone have a good one. I'll be at the cabin Thursday, Friday. Not my cabin, just a rental cabin. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'll show you some nice pictures, and we'll jump on camera there and show you around. All right, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for a great show.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a fun night, everybody.
Where are you going? Are you walking your truth? Or just following lies? Stop accepting unlawful wrongs. Don't march to a corrupted song. Feet on the ground, God in my heart. I know the truth, that's where I start. Reject the noise, don't play the game. Right is right, wrong stays the same. Where are you going? What do you see? Are you living their life or living free? I won't be guided by systems that fall. I stand in my truth. I answer the call. Don't get caught in what they think. That poison served in a pretty drink. I won't be tamed by corrupted hands. I build my life on stronger plans. Reject the path that leads you astray. We change ourselves to change the day. Where are you going? What do you see? Are you living their life or living free? I won't be guided by systems that fall. I stand in my truth. I answer the call. Stop letting corrupted people lead. Truth is the soil and I plant the seed. Change starts here, it starts with me. I break the chains, I claim my destiny. Where are you going? Where you going? What do you see? Yeah, you read. Are you living their life? Are you living or living free? Or living free? I won't be guided by systems that fall. I answer the call. Yeah. Where are you going? I know where I'm headed. Straight in the truth.